Right, my friends, we need to find out what's in the box, but first of all, please allow me. Splendid. So, what's in the box today? Oh, I say. Well, I never. Oh, my giddy aunt, would you look at this? This can only mean one thing. Pirates! Pirates. Now let's all get in the mood for a pirate story. Will you please, all of you, make a mean face? Make a fist. Stick your elbow out. And will you please say, "Arr!" Because this is going to be a rocky ride. I think we ought to start with the obligatory pirate jokes. Okay, let's think. What's the pirate's favourite shop? You know this one. Argos. Okay. What happened when the blue ship full of pirates bumped into the red ship full of pirates? They all became marooned. Huh? And what's a pirate's favourite form of exercise? Pirates. I love pirates. I always have loved pirates. I love pirates ever since I was about that tall. What's not to like? Well, you know, apart from the robbing, the pillaging, the marauding, the violence. But apart from that, they get to wear cool clothes and they get to say, "Arr, ahoy there, my hearties," and all that kind of malarkey. So today, I want to tell you how they got their name. All pirates were once sailors. But the sailors that became pirates, well, those sailors, they had big beards, even the women. And they were probably just that little bit louder than everyone else. Instead of saying, "Ahoy," they would have said, "Ahoy!" like that. Some sailors would have been fishermen, or some fishermen would have been sailors. But they would have been fishermen or merchants, probably. One or the other. But whether or not you were a fisherman or a merchant, or clean-shaven or bearded, or loud or quiet, your life would have been ruled by superstition and weird sayings. Things like, no women are allowed on board the ship. Can you believe that? No women allowed aboard the ship. You would get shot if you said that these days, and quite rightly too. Although it would probably explain why so many women sailors had beards in those days. Or how about this one? When you step onto a ship, make sure you start with your right foot. We all know why that is, don't we? Because your left foot is evil. Evil! Evil, I say! Don't whistle on board the ship, because the whistling conjures up the wind. And another one, quite an odd one this, is rats are the first to leave a sinking ship. I know what you're thinking right now. You're probably thinking, hang on, why were rats on board a ship to start off with? Well, my friends, on merchant ships, there would have been lots and lots of grains. Things like wheat, or barley, or rye, or even rice. And rats are always sneaky, and rats are always hungry. And you can just imagine little rats getting together and saying,
"Hey guys, hey guys, there's about 500 grains of rice. 500 grains, what am I talking about? 500 sacks of rice, 500 tons of rice on board that ship over there. All we have to do is get on board. Then we can eat and eat and eat. We can eat all day, we can eat all night, and we get a free cruise out of it. Oh, I can't wait to get on board."
And on a very long voyage, rat families would grow and grow and grow, and the rats would get fatter and fatter and fatter. Okay. Story time it is. Captain Carruthers was fed up. He was fed up and he was beginning to doubt why he'd ever chosen that cook, Waffle Sweat, to be the ship's cook. Captain Carruthers was the captain of the Fluffy Daffodil, and the Fluffy Daffodil was caught in the middle of the ocean. There was very little wind, and the food was absolutely disgusting. It was foul. It wasn't that Waffle Sweat, the ship's cook, didn't have enough ingredients to cook with. I mean, we all know how difficult it is cooking with limited resources, don't we? I mean, it's hard to cook a 3-course meal if all you've got is a jar of Marmite, some stale bread, a stock cube and a pack of jelly, and no tin tomatoes. How can anyone cook without tin tomatoes? Impossible! But Waffle Sweat had all these things and more. He had enough ingredients. It's just, he was a terrible cook, and he made some really, really weird combinations. Things like, stewed fish with peach mash. Chicken a la toothpaste. Goose liver profiterolls. And he was a bully. He was a terrible bully, especially to poor Tom, the kitchen boy. He would give Tom all those really scummy jobs, like cleaning out the frying pan with his fingernails to get all those bits of grease out, or pulling out the crumbs from the floorboards with a pair of tweezers, or licking out the whole oven. Disgusting. Poor Tom. He was such a bully. And everyone was scared of Waffle Sweat. Even Captain Carruthers. And what's a corrupting? That's someone who's very corrupt, a corrupt captain. Captain Carruthers, he was really, really worried how on earth he was going to get Waffle Sweat to change the menu. If there was one thing, though, that Waffle Sweat was quite good at, it was keeping the rats away from the grains. Yeah, even the rats were terrified of Waffle Sweat. Waffle Sweat would get his kitchen boy Tom to put traps all over the ship, the Fluffy Daffodil, like this, all over the place. And one day, after catching 22 rats, Waffle Sweat's cooking became even more experimental. He started cooking with rats. He would make rat stew, with avocado dumplings. Yuck. He would make a rat curry with seaweed poppadoms. Really foul. Or he'd make rat risotto with mouldy bread croutons. Disgusting. Not surprisingly, the crew on the Fluffy Daffodil were starving. And one day, when there was absolutely no wind at all, and the only sound you could hear was the that's the sound of the crew's bellies rumbling because they were all so hungry. The captain was really worried. He was so worried. The crew was worried. Everyone was worried except Waffle Sweat. Waffle Sweat was in his kitchen cooking up some concoction or other, singing away. Waffle Sweat. Me, Waffle Sweat. I love cooking. What we gonna have today? I wonder. He was cooking up some pie or something. It smelled disgusting. Anyway, all of a sudden, on the horizon, Captain Carruthers saw another ship coming towards them. And it was coming towards them quite fast. How is this possible, thought Captain Carruthers. How is this possible? There's no wind in the air. We're not moving at all, yet this ship here, it's coming towards us faster and faster and faster. He took out his telescope and he looked at the ship. And it was full of Sailors with massive beards and scary faces, clutching weapons with hooked hands, and eye patches over one eye, eye patches over two eyes, eye patches over three eyes. The captain was terrified, the crew was terrified, everyone was terrified. All of a sudden, a cannon went off and bang! In the side of the Fluffy Daffodil, a huge hole appeared. Well, the rats were the first to leap over the side of the ship.
Hey guys, run for your lives! Run for your lives! The ship is sinking, the ship is sinking. Run for your lives! Swim, 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 I say! Swim, swim, swim!
Waffle Sweat panicked at this moment. No, 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 come back, come back, come back. He wasn't worried about those sailors with the big beards and the hooks and the patches on their eyes. He wasn't worried about the hole in the side of the Fluffy Daffodil. He was only worried about losing his rats. He was going to cook those rats. Well, Captain Carruthers, Tom, and the entire crew of the Fluffy Daffodil, they were in a panic getting the lifeboats ready. And as they were getting the lifeboats ready, they were asking the same question. Who are they? What are these people? What are they? What are these devils? Waffle Sweat overheard this. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no, they're not devils. Oh no, 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 no. They're not devils. They're rats. They're my rats. They're my pirates. You see, my friends, Waffle Sweat was in the middle of cooking his favourite rat pie. Well, of course, Captain Carruthers and Tom and the rest of the crew, they safely reached dry land. Phew, you're thinking. Phew, thank goodness, I quite like those characters. They reached dry land, and everyone they met, they told about those scary sailors, the ones with the big beards and the hooks for hands, holding weapons with patches over their eyes. They were terrifying. What was it Waffle Sweat called them? Ah, yes, pirates. Well, that name stuck from that day on. And if you're thinking, my friends, well, what on earth happened to Waffle Sweat? I can tell you. He joined the rest of the pirates, and it ended up with the pirates absolutely loving Waffle Sweat's cooking. Well, my friends, that is the end of part 1 today. I did promise you, or some of you at least, that you'd be getting a double bill today. So, off with the old hat, and on with the new old hat. Little sip of water, if I may. Because now we're going to have a story that you wrote. But again, let's find out what's in the box. I wonder. Little froggy, how are you today, little froggy? Because we're going to have the story that you wrote, yes, your 6-word story about the frog in the well. Now, before I start the story, I must tell you about someone. And this someone is called Bomber Fireball Edith. This was an idea given to me by Thea Thundersquawk. Bomber Fireball Edith is a dragon. And it's a dragon from the time of the Vikings. Half good, half bad. But to become entirely good, it has to sleep for 50,000 years. And I'd like to think that the frog in this story was actually looking for Bomber Fireball Edith. I wonder if he ever found her. So here we are, my friends. The 6-word story challenge that you wrote just last weekend. The frog in the well. I hope you don't mind me reading from this piece of paper. Frog sat at the bottom of the well and wondered why the sky was so blue and what was up there that he couldn't see. So he decided to make a kite in order to fly away and explore the world. But then he realised he had no materials. he decided to ask his friend Spidey the Spider to tie some sticks together from the flotsam floating in the well. He looked around, but all Frog could see were bicycle spokes, crisp packets, and old shoes, until there, in the gloom, was an old but still sparkling necklace with a red ruby heart. He popped the necklace around his neck and continued and carried on hunting, and luckily found a couple of sticks stuck to the side of the well. Spidey the Spider got to work weaving and spinning with a glorious silk thread of pure silver, and wove a most glorious thingamajig. Frog attached the crisp packets as makeshift sails. Wow! I wonder, thought Frog, but will it fly? That second, the ruby around his neck glowed brightly. It shot him into the sky, phew! So high that he was flying. He closed his eyes and he wished and he wished and wished. And his home came into sight. He looked around anxiously for his friend Spidey the Spider, but there he was, kite surfing alongside him. Tears of joy filled his eyes. His glimmering lush lily pad beckoned him. So with a hop, skip, and a jump. But oh no. Oh no, 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 no. What had happened? Where was the lily pad? Where are we? Cried Frog. Don't know, whispered Spidey the Spider. It looks like we're back inside another well, said Frog. I think we're caught inside a story. What do you mean? Asked Spidey the Spider. In these sorts of stories, Frog explained, there are always 3 wells. Well, 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 said Spidey. Frog closed his eyes. The ruby glowed brightly, and again he and Spidey flew up and up and up into a 3rd well. This one had a giant octopus in it, who recognised Spidey as her long-lost cousin. She lifted out Frog and Spidey onto dry land. Frog was so pleased that he gave Octopus the red ruby heart necklace, said his farewell, and he and Spidey lived happily ever after on the glimmering, lush lily pad. But still, Bomber Fireball Edith the Dragon sleeps. Well, stay safe, my friends. And if you like this story and like the others, and you would like a little bit more with a little bit of music from the marvellous music of Martin Thornton, please go onto our website. You can buy these downloads at £3, the ones with music that is. £3, which is our special Crazy Times prices. Please stay safe, please stay healthy, please look after each other, and TTFN, see you tomorrow.